Hi guys, it's Laura and today is my summer wrap up. Okay, so I haven't done a lot of monthly wrap ups recently, mostly because I haven't got round to. I did a June wrap up, I think, and you guys all know the books I read in June, but you don't know July, August and half of September. So this is my wrap up before I go back to uni of the books I've read over the summer. Some of the books I don't actually have to hand with me because they were library books or I have no longer got them. So I will be inserting pictures somewhere in the frame for you to see the beautiful books they are. So first up we have a book that I read on July the 1st. I think I might have started it at the end of June, but I read it really quickly and thoroughly enjoyed this book and I gave it 5 stars. And that is Cecilia Ahern, Where Rainbows End. Now this book is now one of my favourites. I completely adored it and highly recommend this one. The second book I read this month is Anna and the French Kiss. Now I read this on my iPad so I don't have it to hand, but I was very surprised. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. I thoroughly enjoyed it and gave it 5 stars. It's not the most amazing novel in the world, but I fell in love with it and the storyline. I'm a sucker for romances, so this was awesomely awesome. On July 6th I finished Hate List by Jennifer Brown. Completely adore this book. It made me cry a lot. Then again, so did Where Rainbows End. I gave this another 5 stars. The next book I don't have to hand either, and that is Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I enjoyed it, but not as much as Anna and the French Kiss, so gave it 4 stars. The next book I don't have to hand either, and that is Thumped by Megan McCafferty, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. It wasn't an amazing book, but the concepts in the books made me give it 4 stars because I liked the idea and the kind of societal values that you saw in the book as well. The next book is another book I don't have to hand, and that is If I Stay by Gail Foreman. I gave this one 4 stars. I really wanted to enjoy it, but there was just something missing to me. I think it's a good book and I would like to see the film. However, I don't think it is as good as everyone says it is, and I think it is kind of overhyped. And now I'm going to get a load of people trying to kill me because I don't like it as much as everyone else. But I gave it 4 stars. Okay, so the next book I read was Where She Went, which is the sequel/companion novel to If I Stay by Gail Foreman. Gave this 4 stars and it was kind of good, but kind of not. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't a favourite of mine. Now some of these books I'm going to be repeating because I read in the booktubeathon, but I'm just quickly going through these books. If you want full reviews, check out my Goodreads channel or just ask me down below if you want any more information on these books. Okay, so the next book I read on July the 15th, and that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I was really worried I wouldn't enjoy this one, but thoroughly did, and can't wait to read Hollow City. But I'm not reading it until the next book is out because I know a lot of people say it's on a cliffhanger. So I gave this 4 stars and really enjoyed it. On July the 17th, I read Billy and Me by Giovanni Fletcher. Now this is a 5-star book. I completely adore this and I can't wait to read more of G's books. I know she's creating a Billy and Me Christmas book which is coming out soon, and I'm dying to read the You're the One That I Want because Grease. Next up is Serafina. I read this on July the 23rd. I enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. There was some parts that I got confused and I found really boring, but in general I really enjoyed this book and I loved the world of it and I loved the dragons. Next book I've got is It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Bazzini. I read this on July 27th. I really enjoyed this one and gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I have a movie comparison review of this which I will link down below in my blog, and you can check out what I thought of the movie as well. The next book I don't have to hand with me is Maybe One Day by Melissa Cantor. I read this book on the last day of the month, July the 31st, and I gave it 3 stars. Although there was parts I enjoyed and I did feel a bit emotionally attached to the characters, there was several issues I had with the book and several issues I could not forgive really. And even though the author says that she wasn't trying to make it accurate medically, I got annoyed with that because if you want to write a book about teenagers with illnesses, it's kind of important to relay to the audience to a more truthful vision of what people see. So yeah, it was enjoyable, but I had a lot of issues with it. The next book I have to share with you guys is one I read for uni, and that is Michelle Faber's The Apple, Crimson Petal and Other Stories. Now, I actually really enjoyed this one. It's a historical fiction. These are small stories based off the book The Crimson Petal and the White. Now, I got annoyed when I realised there was a whole book that these small stories were based on, and I kind of now want to read the book, but it is a very big book, so I will have to save time to do that. I really enjoyed it, and it was kind of weird, some of the stories, but the book in general was really enjoyable, and I'm glad I read it. The next book I don't own, and that is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I really enjoyed this book and would say the hype does live up to it. I gave it 5 stars and really enjoyed it, and I'd highly recommend it if you haven't read it already. On September the 15th, I read Ugly Bugs by Nick Arnold, illustrated by Tony DeSaules. Now, this is a horrible science book. I am reading it for uni. We're looking at creative non-fiction for children. And I gave this book 3 stars. It was interesting, humorous, and I really recommend this for kids. On September the 16th, the day after reading Ugly Bugs, I went and picked up The Vile Victorians by Terry Deary, one of the horrible histories. I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed the way they did it. I think because I love the Victorian period, I enjoyed this even more, especially after doing Victorian fictions at uni. And it's a great way for kids to learn about Victorians. The day after that, I went on and read Terrifying Tudors by Terry Deary, and I like this one, and although I like the Tudor period, I don't enjoy this book as much as the Victorian one. Now, I gave this one 2 stars because I know it's a bit harsh, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as the other one. I think I gave the other one actually 3.5 stars. I think I gave the Victorian ones 3.5. So this is more like 2.5, I guess. However, I still recommend this for children, even though I didn't enjoy it that much. Okay, so the final part of this video is in fact the books that I'm currently reading, and these are uni books, which kind of sucks because I want to be reading some of my own books at the moment, but I am kind of enjoying them. This one is Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. Now, I'm struggling with this one a bit. It is 650 pages. It's about Thomas Cromwell in the Tudor period, who is basically a lawyer, and he is part of the entourage of people that help Henry VIII within the book and things like that. I'm 216 pages in. I'm enjoying it, but it is hard going and it's a bit of a confusing book and I'm struggling to keep track of everything. That's why I'm using the internet and horrible histories to help me make sure I'm keeping track of where we are in history, because it is very history based and it is a lot more historical fiction, history based than I've read before. But I am enjoying it a bit and need to finish it really soon. The other book I'm reading is in fact really a textbook, and that is A Brief Introduction to the Psychoanalytic Theory by Stephen Frosch, basically talking about Freud and Lacan and theories and like that. I am only about 20 pages in and I'm using this for one of my modules as well. I am enjoying it, it's interesting, but obviously it's still a textbook, so it's not like a great story or anything really that enjoyable to read. It's just interesting, really. Now, because I haven't got all the books to hand, I'm not going to hold up and show you the big pile of the books I've just shown you, because it wouldn't be an accurate representation of all the books I've read. And so, really, I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you've been reading, and I hopefully will have proper wrap-ups in the future. If you want to know more detailed reviews or more about the books, I will link my Goodreads page down below and you can check that out, some of my reviews, or just ask me and I can do some spotlight reviews on some of the books if you're interested. So I want to thank you again for watching and I can't wait to hear your comments.